We are here to share a blessing with Scott and Polly. And as I was praying concerning that blessing, I thought of S for Scott means the sovereignty of God. God brought them together. And it's pretty evident in their lives together that they complement each other so well, that they complete each other. And the purpose of God, with a P for Polly, purpose, is to see God's kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. And so I just asked that blessing out of their life, that they would be acknowledging the sovereignty of God, that God brought them together, and that they have a purpose together. My brother's the preacher. I'm not. No. You know, the Lord says that we're to have the Lord bless us and keep us. He's to let His light shine before us, and that we might experience His peace in all things. And so my prayer is that they would experience truly the peace of Christ in everything that happens in their life.
Sophie and I would like to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us on this joyous occasion. We know many of you have come from great distance, fought the elements to get here. And we've got people from many foreign places. We've got people from Hungary, we've got people from Taiwan, people from Peru, and people from Bakersfield. So, so over this past year, Sophie and Polly have done a great job planning for this event and making it all happen, and a lot of their hard work is what you're seeing tonight, so thank you very much. And I know nothing would make Polly happier that when this great band kicks it in later that you all get up and dance your butts off. But after that first song, I don't think I'm going to have to admonish you to do that. It's great. So the other thing I'd like to do is I would like to thank everybody who's working here tonight that took their time away on their Saturday night to make this an enjoyable evening for us. In particular, I would like to thank Catherine Cho, who's been around here someplace, who's been putting up with us for over a year now, and Michelle Groom, who over the last several months has provided some much-needed adult supervision to this process. So thank you very much to both of them. So, Polly, our baby has gotten married off, and, you know, I thought when both of my daughters got married it would be bittersweet occasions, but really it's just been sweet. It hasn't been better. I'm so proud of you. We're so proud of you. We love you so much, and so proud of the young woman you've become. You know, we've had a few moments of battles through our life, but I would say 99.999% has just been you've provided us with nothing but joy, laughs, happiness, and just a wonderful, wonderful daughter. And it makes me so happy to see how close you are to your sister and her family, and how close we've been as a family, and all the great times we've had together. And I'm very confident that as Scott joins our family now, that will continue, which gets us to Scott. So, about 4 years ago, Polly told us she was going to go with her friend Caitlin, who sang beautifully this evening, on a business trip to San Luis Obispo. And we thought, boy, that's odd. Well, it turns out she had been communicating with a fellow she had met through Facebook, and she was going up to meet him. So it's not as bad as it sounds, because the reason they'd met on Facebook is they were both in the same incoming business class at Pepperdine. And in light of current events, I also have to give her credit that at least she was going up to make sure this was a real person. So, so Scott came into our lives at that point in time, Polly's life in a big way, and our lives too. And after we got to know Scott a little bit and decided, okay, he's an okay guy, we decided to share one of our Bendish family rituals with him. We went to an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert. So it was at the Hollywood Bowl, and for those of you who may have heard this story before from Jason last night, just bear with me. So Scott likes to make a good impression. In fact, some in our family have called him a Metro. So I want to tell you about the first impression he made on Sophie, or one of the early impressions. So we went to the Hollywood Bowl, and we were sitting in one of those box things where you can have a picnic lunch, and Sophie, in her own way, had packed all these bags of food, drink, things to keep us warm as the evening went on. And we're done eating, and we had to go. And so Scott said, I'll stay in the box and I'll watch all this stuff. And so we went. And when Scott was sitting in the box, the people from the Hollywood Bowl came by to collect the tabletop, pick up the trash. And Scott said, oh yeah, those bags are trash, take them away. So sure enough, we come back, it's getting chilly, and Sophie decides to put on her brand new Stella McCarthy sweater jacket. Gone. And so, although some of us didn't think it was funny at the time, in retrospect, it was really funny to watch Scott run from side to side in the Hollywood Bowl. And if you've been there, you know that's a big place, trying to find out where the people in our section had taken the trash. And once they found where he'd taken it, digging through the trash, trying to find his future mother-in-law's clothes. But Scott quickly fit in with our family. He's a full-fledged member of the White Shoes in Vegas Club. And from my perspective, he gives me a second son-in-law that I can beat in golf, and that's good. There's number one over there. So, but seriously, we think Scott is just a really good guy, a great guy. He comes from a wonderful family. Shelley and Rick, you have so much to be proud of. He's a great guy. And more importantly, as we sit and talk as a family, we think, boy, Scott has really been good to Polly and for Polly. And as I talk to people in Scott's family, they say, boy, Polly has really been good for Scott. So I think that's a pretty good basis for a great team going forward. So please join me in raising your glasses and wishing Scott and Polly a lifetime of love, good health, and happiness.
Let me just start by saying welcome to everybody here tonight. We're absolutely thrilled that Polly and Scott are married. It's a very exciting and special night for our family, so it means a lot that all of you are here to share the night with Polly and Scott. I'd like to say a big thank you to my parents for hosting this amazing party. Mom, you've done an awesome job. I hope that you can finally relax now and enjoy yourself. For those of you that don't know my mom, she's the little crazy Asian lady that's been running back and forth the whole weekend. You've done an amazing job. And, some might call your planning style intense, like Polly, but the results speak for themselves. It's an amazing wedding. So please, raise a glass to my mom. And we can't forget about my dad. We couldn't have done it without him. Yeah, he's without a doubt the most amazing wedding payer for ever. No, in all seriousness, he's been wonderful through the whole process, very supportive of my mom and my sister, and done everything with a smile on his face. And he was actually very involved with the wine and champagne selection for tonight. So, give him a toast. Polly, so where to start? I've been trying to figure out this wedding speech for a while, and I don't know that anything I say tonight can convey how much you mean to me. You are my panda-hugging, balance bar-eating, tea-swizzle-loving sister. You may have been a scholarship athlete at Duke and the president of your business school class at Pepperdine, but to me, you're just my little sissy. To me, you're the little girl that used to walk around our San Juan Capistrano house in a bathing suit and white cowboy boots waving an American flag. You were the 12-year-old obsessed with the Die Hard trilogy that used to refer to Bruce Willis as your Brucey baby. Mm-hmm. You are the little sister that visited me at college the first time and chugged an entire bottle of non-alcoholic margarita mixer and spent the entire day the next day throwing up. Sorry, Mom. All of you here who know Polly know that she is one of a kind. Who else do you know has subsisted for various periods of time solely on Top Ramen or Cashigo lean cereal or M&Ms? Who else do you know is obsessed with anything fuzzy? We're talking fuzzy duvet cover, fuzzy Christmas tree ornaments, fuzzy husband. Sorry. Who else do you know has such massive teeth that the dentist had to pull some out just so they would fit in her mouth? And she still has the biggest, brightest smile of anybody I know. Who else do you know is named after a fabric? Polyester. Polly, I like to joke about your quirks, but I hope you know how much you mean to me. You've been more than a sister. You've been a friend, an ally, and a partner in crime. You've been my teammate, my roommate several times, and my maid of honor only once. Now that we're all grown up and I have babies, you're the godmother to my 2 precious children. Our relationship and our lives have certainly changed through the years, but one thing has remained constant. You've been my love. I will always look back on our adventures in Hermosa with beach volleyball and bike rides and Torrance Thursdays as some of the best times of my life. I'm so excited for what the future has to hold for all of us, and I'm looking forward to many more adventures with both you and Scott. I'm so proud of you and happy for you, and I love you and I love Scott. I wish nothing but the best for the 2 of you. So, wait, I'm not done. So speaking of Scott, you look so handsome tonight. Earlier my dad told the story about him throwing away my mom's sweater. And earlier in their relationship, I had a strange inkling that he may actually be the guy for Polly, and I may be put in this situation and I would need material. So I started compiling a list in my iPhone. And I only got to 2. So that was one of the stories, and I won't retell that because it's already been told twice this wedding weekend. But I will tell the story of, I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but Polly had her eye on Scott long before they actually met in person. Pepperdine has this electronic Facebook, but it's not the actual Facebook. It's a web page with everybody's pictures so the students can check each other out before the school year starts. So I have here an email from Polly. Polly, Katie Price, and myself would email back and forth about these people's pictures. From Polly, Friday, June 12th, 2009, quote, Natasha Rotagi. Her red-eye correction software makes her look like she has a crazy left eye. Gungaring Sung. Check out his chest hair. Scott Erickson equals player, therefore I'll probably have a crush on him. So there you have it. Scott thinks he has something to do with all of this, but really, Polly had her eye on him from the beginning. Scotty didn't stand a chance. So yes, Polly had a crush from the beginning, but we all know Scott is no player. Nothing could actually be further from the truth. He is a caring, sweet, successful, and upstanding guy. And he comes with a pretty awesome family, too, I must say. More importantly, he loves my sister and he treats her amazingly well. Ogden Nash once said, all husbands are alike, but they have different faces so you can tell them apart. I actually disagree with that. I think that in the world of husbands, there are the great ones and the not-so-great ones, just like there are the great wives and not-so-great wives. I think I got a pretty great husband, and Polly, I think you're getting one of the great ones in Scott also. Scott, I'm very excited to have you as a brother. I couldn't have asked for a better partner for my sister. I welcome you warmly into my family. So everybody please, let's make a toast to Polly and Scott. To love, to laughter, to happily ever after.